from the experience of going on vacation to just how we set in vacation and we're present. It was probably the first time we've ever been on vacation together where it was just peaceful. Welcome back to Life in Abundance. We're changing up the views if you're on YouTube. We're in our kitchen on the bar side. My wife, we're always waiting on her. You can ask Kevin, my video guy. It's always waiting on the talent. And so we want to try some different looks of where we're going to film the podcast. So I called Bree. I said, hey, can we do someone in the house? She goes, yeah, that's fine. I go, what about on the couch? She goes, no, because you don't look very good sitting down because you look slouchy. I said, okay, well, you don't care, but you care.
Our couch is really slouchy. It's meant to be loungy.
And so I said, well, we're going to film at the bar. So she gets home. First thing is she goes, I don't like the stands for the mics. And then, do you realize there's balloons behind you? I'm like, yes, I do. It's part of our life. Our middle daughter's birthday is tomorrow. And so we're celebrating birthday week in our house. I started it, the tradition, like almost 18 years ago with Bree. I would buy her a gift every day before her birthday for 7 days. Back then, I could go to Forever 21 and spend, I don't know, maybe like $200 total. Now birthday weeks are like $200 for one day for things. So they got a little bit more expensive. Biden's America has hit the home of the Gentrys. So if you're wondering why there's balloons behind us, it's Selah's birthday tomorrow. And it really irritates Bree, so it's kind of fun that they're behind us.
Yeah. And the funnier thing is that it was Mark's birthday last week, and Selah looked at me last night, and she's like, why is Dad's birthday sign still up? Like, she was disturbed that she had to share a birthday sign with you.
Well, you would be disturbed, too, if you had to share a birthday sign with someone else.
Don't worry. It all comes down tomorrow, and my house will be clean again.
We actually kind of planned having babies not around Bree's birthday. Did we not?
That's not true. I just made sure that it wasn't possible to have the same birthday as me. Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't want to share my birthday. I work really hard at that.
If it was one of your own kids?
I don't want to do that to them. They're going to live in the shadow of my birthday all the rest of their life. God. No, I really do love celebrating birthdays, though. My kids love, who doesn't love a week to celebrate their entire birthday? So Mark started that tradition for me, and the funny thing is that I've carried out the tradition for my kids and him, but guess who didn't get a birthday week this year?
You?
Yes,
yeah.
Me. Yeah. Or a couple years, I feel like.
What happened this year? I think we're just broke.
Yeah, probably just busy and it wasn't a priority for sure. Broke.
But I'm in a different headspace now, so she'll probably, if her birthday week was this week, she would have one.
It'd be fire.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be good. Man, this week in our household, it's been kind of a different vibe. We went on a little family vacation for 3 days to our favorite place in Palm Springs, and came back and had my birthday, and I turned 40 and had my middle daughter's birthday party, and it was just a different vibe. From the experience of going on vacation to just how we set in vacation and we're present. It was probably the first time we've ever been on vacation together where it was just peaceful.
It was so peaceful, and it was everything I feel like our souls needed at this time, just to be together and connected, and like Mark said, just like see our kids, and they had so much fun. The resort we stay at, it has a big lazy river and kind of like a little water park, if you will, in there. And we just sat out by the water all day and, ate whatever we wanted. They had strawberry smoothies all day and just lived their best life. It was the greatest experience, I feel like, for our little family of 5 to be together. And as much as we love our family and our friends, our home is just like Grand Central Station. There's people here coming and going all the time. It's rarely ever just the 5 of us. And so it was really special just to have that time together, just the 5 of us. And even the kids acknowledged it, like this was really nice. But we came to like some funny realizations while we were there. Matea, our oldest, is 10 years old. It might be the last time we can all be in one hotel room. It's getting a little tight quarters with one bathroom and 5 of us in one room. So we usually end up doing a suite, but this wasn't that kind of vacation. And
well, what's funny is if you have little kids, they all seemed to be in the bathroom at the same time.
Everybody, all
Everyone.
5 of us at one time,
Yeah.
so many times over the weekend.
Yeah, I was like, what is everyone doing in here?
Yeah.
We have a room with the couch, a TV,
Yeah.
a patio,
Yeah.
a bed, but they choose to be
Yeah.
in a little bathroom.
The quarters are such a great setup, but for whatever reason, we all congregate together in the smaller, more confined areas. But it was a great trip. This car ride down smooth. You just know, like, when that happens, it's like, okay, it's going to go good. But yeah, they have live music every night and sitting out on the patio, listening to music, having a good glass of wine. That's just kind of my jam. So it was good.
And what we're going to talk about today on the podcast is the biggest shift in that vacation wasn't the finances. It wasn't the weather. It was in me. It was in finding my peace and freedom and my certainty where for so many years I ran off pride and ego. I let my pride and ego dictate our vacations. If it was the anxiety of coming back to work, of not having enough money, of being gone, I just could never enjoy myself on vacation. Mm-hmm. And I was always looking to the future of, like, how much was the bill going to be? How much was the dinner? Are we, can we afford this? Like, all, like, on and on and on. And this year was completely different. I, like, if you've been listening to this podcast, I went on a plant medicine journey about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. And it has just changed me completely. That didn't do it, but all the work prior, and then that was just the
Final piece.
Yeah, the final piece that I needed, and to find that peace and certainty that I've always wanted, and I've been searching for, and I found it in God. And so it was funny, this trip, I remember getting the email while we were packing up of the bill, and looked at it, and I was like, okay. That's what I kind of expected, and just kind of moved on. And whereas before, I would have been like, oh my gosh, like, how are we going to pay for this? Like, we had the money, but what if something happens? Like, all these made-up stories in my mind. And it always robbed me of the last day or the last moments. And this year, I don't think you know this, but I packed up the car, and I went back in the hotel room just by myself, and I just sit there for a couple minutes and just thank God for allowing us to be able to do this, and for to be able to do it with our kids and my wife, and just to enjoy it. For the first time. And when you take your pride and ego out of it, you come from a different place. You come from love. Like, you love where you're at. You love your kids. You love your wife. You love the people at the pool, around the, like, just everybody. Like, you see that little piece of God in everyone. And it just shifts your mind, and then you're able to enjoy things that used to stress me out, like packing the car. Man, I used to get pissed all the time packing the car. We get in the car, and then somebody would want a cozy, someone would want a water, and
I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And this year, it was like kind of like, I was like, oh, whatever, It's like,
when we get on the road, we get on the road. Yeah, we weren't in a big rush for anything. We just really had a great time. But funny enough, we got the car packed, headed out at 8:30 in the morning from Palm Desert to drive to Fresno and have a birthday party in our backyard of maybe 50 people, maybe 2 hours after we got home. Mark and I always say, we built this house to entertain. We have, like, industrial appliances because we beat the heck out of this house. It is a hop in place all the time, and we host like you wouldn't believe. So we can plan a party at the drop of a dime at any time, and we own an insane amount of chairs and tables and whatever we got to do. And so our daughter, Selah, she said she wanted to go to the desert instead of having a birthday party, and she would settle for just like a family dinner for her birthday. Yeah, right. So while we were there, she decided she really wanted a party. And so we made it happen, and everybody went to Costco and got things for us. So we came home, and just Mark ran to the grocery store, and we had a party like 2 hours later. It was great. But that's the truth, is like the kids don't care about all the Pinterest crap that the moms care about, right? They just want to have fun. They just want to be with your people. And for her, she was just so excited to have the people. It was her party, something that belonged to her. And being the middle child, I feel like she shares everything. And this, like, even her birthday with her dad. And this was, we made it all about Selah this week. And that has been really special. And Selah, she's my buddy. She has this attachment to me, because for the longest time I always left her. And now it's, Mommy, don't leave me. Mommy, I want to be with you forever. Mommy, I don't want to grow up. I don't want to move out. I want to be with you forever. And I get her little sweet heart, but as much as she wants her mommy, she loves just being with her daddy, and having that confidence that only he can give her is so special to me, to watch that relationship develop, because she is more confident when she's with dad. When I drop her off at school, she's nervous. She doesn't want to leave. But when dad drops her off, she kind of puffs up her chest and is like, okay, this is what we're doing. But anyways, it was just a really special trip for us, and we so desperately needed it. And I think there's so many times, like Mark and I look back, where we didn't pull the trigger. We did not go. We held back for whatever reason or circumstance or whatever. And here's the truth. In doing what we do, you have to be willing to live in the moments of your life right now. And there was so much of our life in the past that we lived in the past. We lived in the future and didn't enjoy right now, didn't see the beautiful little eyes right in front of us. And that's exactly what the last 3 or 4 weeks have been in our household, is really seeing what's in front of us and pouring into that in a way that we never have. And even not just in our people, our babies, but in our businesses, even into our internal, like, personal life that we have been working on. Just really looking at what's right in front of us. And as Mark says, like, water what's in front of you. That has been the main focus for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And although we have less than we probably ever have financially, going through these big shifts that we've recently experienced, we have so much more in so many other ways that bring a sense of calmness and a peace to us that we've never felt before. So that, I think, is something to be worth recognizing anyways. Because for the longest time, I felt like that was missing. And that truly came with this identity piece that Mark has connected to with his relationship with God, and then allowing that to be the foundation in our marriage. And that, again, is something that we lacked for so long. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember for so long I was like wondering like what I need to do. Like, what do I need to do differently? Do I need to make more money? Do I need to find a hobby? Like that was Bree's thing for a long time, was like find something that you like love, that you truly care about. And I didn't really care about anything, to be honest. Like, I mean, I care about Bree and the girls, but didn't really like, there wasn't truly anything I was happy about. And what I realized a couple weeks ago was that I don't have to have something that I truly love, because I have Bree and I have the girls, and it's like I know I need other things to do, which I do, but I really find the peace and joy that I was looking for in that, in knowing God and being thankful. I heard a saying the other day that your gratitude starts with your toothbrush, and that's I've adopted that every morning. I get up and brush my teeth. I turn the water on. I say thank you, God, for water. Then I put my toothpaste on. I say thank you for toothpaste. Thank you for my toothbrush. And it just reframes your mind into being more like thankful and grateful for what you have. Because for a lot of times we just look at the negative stuff. Like I had a guy today in my office, and he was having a hard time writing a letter to his brother just of gratitude. So I said, hey, let's write on the board what is working for you with him and what's not working. We talked for 5 minutes, and was the greatest thing was not working was like 3 things, and working was like 15 things. But he didn't realize that because his pride and ego blinded him into only seeing the bad stuff. And that's where I was for my whole life. Like I remember even playing like baseball in elementary school and like high school. It was like, am I going to be in the lineup? Am I going to be hitting in this spot? Like, why don't I get this treatment? Like, it's all about me. And in reality, it like blinded me from a lot of things that were great. Playing college baseball, playing all those things, like a lot of great things I did. Same thing in business, same thing in my marriage, same thing in my body. Like all these things, I just look at the negative stuff, right? Like the easiest one's your body, because you can see it, right? People can see it. You can take your shirt off. Like right now, I probably like look the best I've ever looked, but I'm still like, how my stomach's not where I need to be, and like all these like, I'm very like negative about it. But if you take an overall look, there's a lot of things that are working compared to not working. And to reframe your brain and to just be like, hey, man, like this might not be the best situation, but there's a lot of great things that are involved in it, right? It's like vacation. We went, we had credit card points. We did this. We did that. And it's like, yeah.
We just made it work.
Yeah, we made it work.
We made the best of it, too.
Yeah. And so I could have said no and did this and did that. But there's a lot of things that worked out of it. And there's a lot of things that came out that were so great. I mean, yeah, is there bad stuff? Yeah, but there'll always be that, right? And so it's just reframing and taking your ego and pride out of it. That's been my biggest, especially this week, has been my biggest takeaway. Because what I realized, I was telling Bree yesterday, I went on a bike ride and just having, just talking with God out loud. And God's like, hey, man, because I was talking to God, and I was like, Bree knows me so well. She can read me like a book, knows exactly what I'm feeling at every time. And I kind of know Bree, pretty well, but not as well as she knows me. I said, why is that? And God goes, because your ego and pride, you haven't asked Bree questions. You haven't been curious about Bree because you've been so worried about yourself. I was like, well, that's kind of harsh. He goes, so this is a season in your life where you need to ask questions, and you need to be curious about people that is in your life, like your wife, your kids, your family members, because for so long you've been so wrapped up in your emotions, and you haven't really discovered who people are. Mm-hmm. You have a story and an idea of who people are, but it's not really who they are.
Yeah, you learn more about people by listening rather than by talking. And for a long time, we felt like we had to fill the void of silence, I guess, or of talking by us filling that with talking and trying to make people feel comfortable rather than just ask a question for an honest answer. It's funny that you go back to that because that's so true in everything that we did. I always was like, Mark, where are you? How do you feel? Share your thoughts, and always trying to pry it out of him. I'm good. I'm cool. And then maybe he would respond with a half question, how are you? How are you feeling about it? And it wasn't until about, it was the weekend of my birthday, March 10th, let's say. I had a really big photo shoot at Warner Theater, a local theater, and I had clients fly out from all over the country that were here for that event, and it was a really big deal to me. I wanted it perfect. I had all my mastermind team there on board to help me produce this photo shoot the way that I wanted, and Mark and I had a moment on stage together where we were taking pictures, and he just looked over at me, and he's just like, how are you, babe? And for the first time, I really felt like you cared what my response was. I really felt like you cared how I was. And not to say you didn't care in the past, but right then in that moment, you wanted to take away any sort of heaviness or burden or pain I might have been feeling, just an unsettledness, whatever it might be. And for the first time, I really felt like you cared about my response and were willing to do whatever you could to make whatever wasn't working better.
Yeah, in that moment on stage, I didn't really know that, I was doing that for Bree, right? Now I'm way more aware of, more intentional with things I say, things I don't say, because I used to be so worried about if I did it right, if I did it wrong, if I said something to someone a long time ago and they didn't like it, or it might be, and now I'm just like, hey, man, that happened, it's in the past, I can't control it, and just move on.
Yeah.
And not
what were we talking about? Breathing life into what's dead.
Yeah, and not dwell on it. And another big thing is I used to have a lot of anxiety for the future about what the future will hold and all that. And what I realized was the reason I felt like that was because I wasn't doing what was required today for tomorrow. I was hoping tomorrow would work out better. I was hoping things would fall into place and not putting action to it today. And I've been putting action into it today with purpose, with going to the gym, with what I eat, what I say, what I do, who I talk to. I've been putting action into it so tomorrow I don't have anxiety. I don't wonder what is going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, do I know what's going to happen? No. But I do know what I can do today to make my tomorrow better for myself and for others around me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so true. Making a conscious effort. And I think that's everything that we've been living for the last few weeks is really being here today where our feet are. Be where your feet are. Mm-hmm. And that's been just words we've been living by. And it's funny because we've hardly ate out really haven't hosted all that much in the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We've just really just been us with our kids and protecting that space and that time. So it's good. It feels fulfilling, and it's amazing how you can do with a lot less and feel you have 10 times more. It's really wild.
Yeah, that was something I've realized going on this journey of finding oneself, just in all areas of life, in body, being, balance, and business, not just in one, not just in business or whatever, but to find all four. And Bree and I have been just going for the last 8 months to a year. And I talked to my coach the day before I asked him to baptize us. I said, hey, Garrett, I said, I found it, but I had to burn all of it down to find this. I'll never forget the smile he had in his face, like, yeah, I know, I've been there. He had this, like, look at me in the eyes, like, yeah, I know. That's what it takes. And I was like, okay, now I know why people don't find this. Mm-hmm. Not to say that you have to burn everything down, but
that's what it was for us.
That's what it was for us. Mm-hmm. And because comfort and not realizing what you have in front of you, like that's what I've been so grateful for, where in the past I would have been mad at myself, I would have been pissed, but I'm so grateful for how much my wife produced and provided and still provides financially for us. I'm so happy with our home, and things in the past that I would always know take for granted. I knew I was lucky and blessed, but I didn't really, really deeply know how blessed I was, like having 3 daughters that are perfectly healthy and a wife that is gorgeous and loves me and produces. And there's been moments, I was telling Bree, every day or 2 days, I just cry of gratitude. Not that I'm upset or mad, or I'm just like so thankful that I found this peace. I was able to go on vacation and truly enjoy my kids and my wife and the time I'm there. And it was probably literally the first vacation
you've ever
been on that I've felt like it was like it was a vacation.
Yeah, and all of us felt that and sensed it too. It's funny how your kids can react to that differently. There wasn't a whole lot of fighting. It was just very peaceful. It was great. Yeah. So anyways, I think the lesson through it all is to look at what's in front of you and be present as much as you can be. Obviously, life happens, and you have to, we're operating businesses and doing all the things. I'm on coaching calls driving down, and Mark's on coaching calls while we're there. But really, when we weren't, we were there, and that just felt so good. So being where your feet are and just soaking that up and living in today and not so much planning for the future. Yes, be wise in your decisions and consider the future, but if you're only living for the future, you miss everything in front of you, and I think that's what we did for a long time. So it's amazing where God has brought us in the last few weeks alone, and this week has been just so great in our home. It's such a good feeling. So anyways, I hope this message touches someone who needs to hear this, to see what's in front of you, to be grateful for those things, because that's something that we missed for a long time. And it's crazy how many years can go by before you catch it, right? So.
Yeah, it goes by quick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you guys for listening. And if you are on YouTube, Spotify, any platform, give us a like and a follow. We greatly appreciate it. And downloads.
That's a wrap.
And that's a wrap. Until next time, God is good.
All the time.
All the time. All right, guys.
Good night.